So, like I said, I had moved back to Maine, tried to live with my family, but I was employing all the same, you know, strategies of mooching off people and not taking personal ownership or responsibility over my circumstances and the quality of my life. And so, sure enough, they resented me for that, and I ended up getting kicked out. And luckily, I had a high school friend that gave me another chance, another place that I could go, and I stayed with him and his family. And one day, I went to the park, which was nearby, and I sat on a bench and I wrote in my journal, if it isn't the devil, right, which I thought maybe it must be a supernatural thing, that's something outside of me must be trying to ruin my life, and I'm not saying that's never the case for people, but in my case, I thought, geez, if that isn't what it was, if it's not a supernatural thing, what else could it be? And eventually, after reflecting on this and just taking a deep breath and sitting quietly with the trees and the sky and, the little squirrels running around the park with my pen and paper and doodling, I realized, okay, when my car needed to get maintained, I didn't bring it into the garage. When my girlfriend seemed upset with me, I never asked her why she was upset. I didn't talk to her about it. When my old roommate had shown signs of feeling disrespected by me, I didn't respond and alter my approach, right? I didn't try to work on my rapport with him, my relationship. And, you know, so what I realized is that I had this avoidant problem solving style. I was avoiding facing problems. I was just pretending that they didn't exist. I was not really concerned about my own role in creating those problems or in perpetuating something. And what I realized sitting there in that park that day is that when you let a little tiny problem grow and grow and grow, it goes from being like a little weed in the ground to becoming this big tree. And then when you try to finally like address it or chop it down, it falls on you and it hurts. So you want to try to solve problems way before they get that big. That's one side moral of this story. But the main point I wanted to make with this two-part video series quickly is that assertive problem solving, right, is part of life management. And before you even take assertive problem solving, before you develop an assertive problem solving style, you want to take personal responsibility or ownership over the cause and effect sequence of what's happening in your day-to-day life. Good luck.